Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show. This is Jenga Njeri. Now, today we have the Matchmaker show. And you understand the protocol here that any other time we have a man on board, that man must be looking for a woman. In the same way, when we have a woman on board, that woman must be looking for a man. But because today we have a man, I will tell you the kind of woman he is looking for. But before then, if you're watching us for the first time, this is the Matchmaker show. We help men and women to get matches. And the moment they get the right ones, they meet their destiny. So you're not lost. If you're new to the channel, kindly subscribe, like the video, and don't forget that the contacts of our guest will always be on my Facebook stories at Jenga Njeri. So go and follow my Facebook page. It's called Jenga Njeri, and you'll be getting updates in real time. Now, the guest on today's show has not approached me directly. I was approached by the family 2 months ago. We've been following up with the case, and I think it's about time that we air the story. I have always given a disclaimer on this show that we do not discriminate against anybody. Why? Because everyone deserves an opportunity. Everyone deserves a chance. Everyone deserves to be given a listening ear, because we are all equal. And I believe that no one is better than the other, and all of us, so long as we're looking for matches, we can get our chances. Our guest on today's show has a condition called dementia. For those of you who know what dementia is, it is a condition that makes the victim forget. Chronic forgetfulness. Like it reaches a point where the victim is not able to remember certain things. For example, the victim can end up in extreme conditions, forgetting the names, the relationship they have, the people close to them, and sometimes they pick the network, other times they don't. Our guest on today's show is a 61-year-old man. The 60-year-old man, he turned 60 today. Today is the 31st of, is it the, yes, the 31st of July, the very last day of the month of July. And he is hitting 61. So he was 60 when we were talking. Today he is 61. Happy birthday to him. His name is Joseph. So Joseph has a condition called dementia. For those of you who know, the condition is not something that you pick along the way. It is as a result of very many predisposing factors. For example, one can have an inborn condition, like from a very tender age, they forget. And do you know who reached out? The family, the siblings. The younger ones, he is the 5th born from a family of 9. They are doing so well. The family is doing so well. In fact, they come from a political family. However, you know, sometimes when diseases and conditions strike, they don't care whether they are striking. Diseases and maybe catastrophes, you know, anything can strike anybody, regardless of their political class, the economic class, everything else notwithstanding. So Joseph happens to have this condition for the longest time. Hata akiwa mdogo watu walikuwa wanamuita wadho. Unajua ile ngiri, wanamuita wadho kwa sababu unamwambia kitu, within minutes he has already forgotten. So it happens that sometimes when people have a condition, they lack an opportunity, they lack a platform where they can air their views. Because again, you meet a few people, 2, 3 women, you start dating them, and the moment they realize you have a condition, they give up, they flee for their lives, and they're like, what? Wait a minute, I cannot cope with that man. And this is the kind of trauma that most people have been going through all their lives. There are people who have conditions which are not even worse, but because of the, you know, profiling, because of what they go through, that trauma has not allowed them to love again. That trauma has not allowed them to fall back in love. Joseph is a victim because he had fallen in love when he was in college. But once the lady realized that he had the condition, she was gone. Within no time, she was gone. So you can imagine the heartbreak he went through. It happened for the 2nd time. It happened for the 3rd time. But now it reaches a point where every human being, including you and myself, have a breaking point. Every human being has a breaking point. And one of the breaking points is when you're heartbroken, not once, not twice, not thrice. It becomes a recurrent order. And you're like, why me? Why me always? And that is the condition that Mr. Joseph is in currently. So it took the efforts of the family to intervene and try and see whether it is possible for him to get a match. I told you that this show has taught me that all things are possible. Every condition can be treated. Every condition can be treated with love. If love is the center of everything, if love becomes the center pole, everything can be held strongly, can be held together. And I have seen people who had conditions on the show, were able to fall in love, and they still got matches. And regardless of the conditions they had, the Bible says that love covers a multitude of many sins. And now, Joseph believes that he has a place in the matchmaker show. He believes that maybe there is somebody who can, probably, there is somebody who can fall in love. There is somebody who can bear with their condition. And now, when the brother and the sisters, there is one brother and three sisters who have been vehement looking for me. They have not been, they have not been deterred by maybe our busy schedules. They have always been looking for us. This is the second month, as I told you, and I said it's about time that I air the story. Surprisingly, I had the brother in the office this morning. I had the brother, and the brother is ready to testify to the fact that Joseph has never been married before. Joseph is doing very fine, but there is this worry that our brother might end up becoming a very old man without a legacy, a very old man without a family, a very old man without a daughter, without a son, without a wife, nothing to his name except property. Let me tell you something. You might own the whole world, but if you don't have family to enjoy, you own nothing. You have absolutely nothing. People who don't have they have never had a family maybe before. It is one thing to have a family and lose it. At least that person has experienced what having a family looks like, or what having a family is like. But there's another thing altogether, never to have a family, to come in the surface of the earth, live and go without ever having somebody under your name, dead or alive, and maybe this is where Mr. Joseph's case features. He says that I was able to talk to him. He's a man who looks like he's depressed, despite the fact that he's doing very well in business. But the fact that women don't want him is something that has really taken a toll on him. For example, you date somebody for 2-3 days, you tell him you have a condition. Before you are able to explain properly that you have a condition, you have even forgotten, because dementia is a condition that makes people forget very fast. It's a condition that makes people forget nothing else. Mnaongea kama sasa tunaweza kuwa naye kwa show. The reason he's not on the show, you could be doing something, you are explaining, mnaongea naye ashasahau hata tunafanya nini. It is it might not look like a serious condition, but when you start sitting down with the person, when you start living with them, that's when you realize that it is actually a problem. I've told you that they are coming from a political family. Somebody could be asking, at the age of 61, what does he do for a living, and what does he want? What are the qualities of a woman that Joseph is looking for? One, he is in real estate. The family realized that because of the family business, that their late father is a renowned politician in this country, even towards the post-independence of this country, to the 1960s, doing very well. So to the family business, they owe the family name. They realized that, because the brother has this condition, we can employ people in real estate, manage money for him, manage resources for him. They have a business plan, a business structure, everything under his name, everything under control. There are checks and balances, so that even his condition will not have to affect the business. So he's in real estate and he's in rental houses, okay, both commercial and residential, all under his name. but he doesn't have a family. He's looking for a woman who is 40, slightly, hata kama hajafika 40 kabisa, kwenda 45. The reason for the argument is that a woman who is within that window is likely to give them a child, and even they are even open to younger women who are able to give birth to children, so that at least Mr. Joseph will have 1 or 2 kids in his name. He wants his legacy to live on. Okay, he wants his legacy to live on. That's why that inspired their choice for a woman who is between 40 and 45, but within the range of and has the capacity of childbearing. That is what they want. Another thing is that Mr. Joseph will be helped by the family to choose, because again, when you have such a supporting family, they have been taking him through counseling, because it is not very easy for people to see other people happy, and the only reason that is separating you from that actual happiness is your condition, a condition that you never chose, a condition that you found yourself with. So the reason why we will not share his number is because the brother and the 3 sisters want to help him in choosing a mate. So even when you write the message, I want you to understand that that message will not just go to Mr. Joseph alone, but also to the siblings, because they want to help him make a decision. They want to help to welcome one woman to the family. Another condition: there are women who they have never been married before. There are women who are within that window. They have never been married before, but they're still fertile. They are able to get children. That is the kind of woman they are looking for. And they have emphasized that they would prefer a woman who has never gotten a kid. Or if they have a kid, they had a kid, maybe something happened, they don't want a kid. This is the rule. And they said in the year game there will be a rule: nobody is coming with a kid. So if that person is coming, they have to be tested. There are advanced tests for things like fertility, and they said they will do that even for their brother. The 2 of them will go for testing, and that woman has to be fertile so that they can give birth, so that they can give their brother a child. So that is Mr. Joseph, and we are hoping he will be able to get that much from our show. And I told you that on this show we do not discriminate against anybody. He didn't ask for that disease. He didn't ask to be abled differently. It is just that he has that condition. And you can Google more about dementia. It is the condition where people chronically forget. If you have an advanced condition, if you're in an advanced stage, you can forget literally almost everything, including family members. So the reason why Joseph is being assisted to look for a match is because he can even forget he has brothers and sisters. He can even forget that he's in the process of searching. Mmeongea leo, mnaongea, inafika saa ingine anakuza, what are you saying? Tuliongea lini? Wapi? You get the point? Yeah, he can forget. That is how he is. If you could be interested, maybe there are people who are compassionate. There are people who are like, maybe it's not a big deal, I can cope with that. Please get in touch. I will post his contacts or the contacts of the kin in my Facebook stories at Jenga. So if you have not followed me on Facebook, kindly go and follow. You'll be getting these updates in real time. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have a message of encouragement, kindly let the family of Joseph and Joseph himself to read in the comment section, and maybe they will get encouraged. If you could be interested, tick. Okay, get in touch. It's always important to get in touch when you're interested, because whatever you don't market never sells. Nobody will know you're interested if you just keep quiet. Okay, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We are on the road to 10,000 subscribers, and yeah. So director, I think this video is done. Bye guys. Like the video.